What's up, you guys? It's BBKDRAGOON. Today we're doing analysis, that's hard to say, an analysis of a high diamond Onyx Slayer game here on Overgrowth. There are 4 Onyx players and 4 high diamond players. I'm playing with one teammate, Sassy, and this is Overgrowth, kind of a weird map. I rush top center first, don't pay attention to the light rifle spawn, get pressured from 2 guys, and I immediately walk out into an engagement of 2 people. Really bad start. Teammates went to get the sword off spawn. I heard them call that out. I probably should have rushed rail off the start. The red team gets active camo. We got sword and railgun. Real quickly, Overgrowth is kind of a weird map. It's just laid out kind of funky, but there's 3 focus points: the active camo, the sword, and the railgun. If you let the enemy team control the rail and the sword, they're going to dominate you. It's really hard to power against a team who's using the sword well. The sword shines in the tight spaces of top middle, where I was just fighting there. Railgun is pretty good in most places because of how fast the Halo 5 railgun charges up. It's a little bit faster, I think, than the Halo 4 rail. So I poke here. You want to be careful poking that sightline, because if they have the light rifle, you can get killed in the blink of an eye much faster than you would think. So be very careful with that long hallway peek. We ended up getting the rail and the sword off the start, which is very helpful for us. I'm going to push here with Sassy to make sure he's got some help. Having the railgun person with some support is useful, because the rail, wow, getting so lucky here. Could have died. Definitely could have died if that guy landed one more shot, but got called out and collapsed upon. When you're playing higher level Slayer, it's almost a guarantee that when you're weak, you're going to get called out and collapsed upon. So if you can just get 2 kills for every death, you're going to be kicking butt in high level Slayer. 30 seconds until the next set of weapons comes up. We're pushing here because we want to pick up the railgun where Sassy died. Sassy ends up picking up the railgun. I'm going to continue to push with him. Again, your rail player, it's very helpful to have a support so that while he's reloading, you can put pressure on the enemy so that they don't collapse in on him. Sassy pulls in with a nice sword slash there, and I'm going to continue trying to support him. I see that the carbine's on the floor. Carbine is my favorite weapon right now in Halo 5. I'm very, very confident with this gun. Getting pushed here, I'm going to just try and pull back to my teammates so that if this guy does push me while I'm weak, at least my teammate has a good chance of taking him out. I don't think I do much work here. In fact, I think I get taken out pretty quickly. So while we're waiting down here at active camouflage, I poke into the railgun guy. They ended up getting the railgun pickup. I should have paid more attention to that call out and figured, hey, they're coming from that direction. But like I said, it's pretty hard to predict when somebody has the railgun. You know, like 3 or 4 times in this match, nice little slide boost jump there. 3 or 4 times in this match, like right here, I'm going to engage with the rail player. Look how little time you're given. By the time I saw the blue light and smashed my thrust, it just was too late. And good job by that guy with a pretty good prediction shot. The railgun kind of has a big hitbox. I don't know directly how it works, but I found it pretty tough to actually thrust in time to dodge it. If you're struggling in Team Slayer against higher level opponents, pay close attention to how you're working with your teammates. Nice little bounce nade here, because your teammates are going to be constantly getting opponents weak, and they're going to need other full health teammates to come in and clean up the kills. A lot of times newer players will lone wolf it in Team Slayer, and that's just not how it works. You've got to stick with your team, and when you hear they're firing on opponents, you want to be in a position where you can collapse and clean up kills. So in this situation, we're going to push past the middle hallway. There's going to be a railgun in there. I opt to not take this fight any further, but when I see my blue teammate who's looking to want to push and do some pressure, I'm going to say, okay, I think we can actually do this. So I'm going to put 2 shots on the railgun player. Sassy's going to finish him with the light rifle, which is what we're talking about in Team Slayer. Sassy calls out a 1-shot guy in top middle. I'm in the position to be able to secure that kill while he's running away, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Now, I do get called out and collapsed upon here and die, but in Team Slayer, that's what it's all about. Think of 4 teammates all sharing one giant shield, and if you're off lone wolfing it, it's like missing a quarter of your shield. I get this nice active camo spawn near the railgun with 8 seconds left before the spawn. Just poke my head up to see if I can see any red players up there. Doesn't look like too many, so I'm going to pull rail. This was my favorite weapon in Halo 4, and on Overgrowth, the rail's pretty easy to use because of how small the sightlines are. Don't take the fight from the bottom. Height advantage is too powerful, so I'm going to fight down here with Sassy near the active camo. Pick up my favorite weapon, the carbine. We're going to have 1 red player rushing in from that garage, like the bottom right, and then a couple red players from the bottom left. The first kill's good by hanging up here. Second kill, I make a big mistake. I jump down for this kill, and by doing that, I give up the height advantage. Even though I get this kill, I get collapsed upon by a 3rd red player. If I would have stayed up on the platform, there's a good chance I could have backed up and fought those 2 guys. Now, They didn't see the railgun, so I called out to Sassy. They didn't see the rail. You need to go pick up the rail. Sassy ends up picking up the railgun, which is super lucky for us. I choke here on my magnum shots. This guy makes me feel it by giving me some extra shots and a love tap. Nothing makes you feel as good as missing your shots, then getting smack bagged. Now the pace of the game changes pretty dramatically. I pick up my most confident, inspiring weapon, the carbine, and start going to town with some slaying kills. There's one really main spawn that's easy to predict. It's down where I just spawned at active camo. Look at that carbine. It just shreds people, dude. If people don't know what they're walking into, this gun just tears up. As long as you can land your shots, of course. So, crouch walking here to try and get the player. I hear him in my headphones coming around the corner. Shred him. If he would have landed the railgun shot, I would have died there, but still. One shot left in the railgun. Carbine. I mentioned the main spawn is down there at the active camo. When you hold the top half of the map, you can just consistently count on them spawning down at active camouflage. It's that easy. So I throw a nade there, I get the hit marker, and I throw a nade behind the guy. So nade in front, nade in behind, pretty easy kill. Now that I'm looking at the spawn, they're not going to probably spawn there. So work with my team, push mid. There's the sword. I choke with the sword here. I think I need to take, next time take the sword to the middle where there's closer sight lines. Instead, I just sort of give them the sword. I knew they were going to be spawning active camo, so it was not probably a wise decision to hang out where that guy dropped the sword. If he called out anything to his teammates, hey, I dropped the sword. On his death cam, that guy probably just watched me sit there with the sword and called it out. So, misplay there, and especially with how close the score is, it could have cost us the game. Trying to work with my team. Anytime you see the yellow above their heads and they're blinking, try and be close to them and try and fight alongside them. Be good to get my hands on a BR. I'm assuming they're at the top of this nook here, so I'm going to flank around. If they are down at that light rifle hallway, I want to be really careful. As I mentioned before, that light rifle just shreds. Do get from the grave grenade, which is lucky. If he would have thrusted back, I don't think I would have gotten that kill. It's a decent trade. Call out to the teammates, railguns down. I get a spawn right next to a dude at the active camo. Horrible grenade. Terrible grenade. I would have lived through that engagement had I not thrown that second nade. I'm amazed I even got the trade there, to be honest with you. So call out to the team. They're spawning active camo. I get a railgun spawn. And I don't know how much time is until the next railgun, just by looking at it. It's kind of hard to see when I record these commentaries, the actual game timer. Get picked off trying to run up and meet with my team. Not a whole lot I could have done there, except a bit of confusion off spawn. If I was a bit faster, I probably could have gotten away. Reaching the critical point in the game where we need to secure kills and not have dumb deaths. Team is looking kind of spread out with one guy just off in no man's land. You never want to see that in Team Slayer. Wait for this bro to come around the corner, pepper him with the assault rifle. In general, I try not to use the AR, but there are certain circumstances like that where I feel more comfortable up close just putting that down. And I'm getting taken out by the light rifle. Honestly, that was a kill I could have secured if I didn't drop one of my shots there. I don't like picking up the light rifle unless you have a long sight line to shoot, so on Overgrowth, I generally just avoid it. Look at that, it takes off half your shield, man. This is why you don't want to contest a light rifle player from far away. Alright, so they're running top mid. I'm kind of spread out with my teammates. Put some shots into the guys that distract them long enough for our sword player to get 2 kills, which is very helpful. All this time talking with my teammates, sort of getting a general idea of what's up. They get the active camo spawn once more, and as long as we can just keep them in this area, it'll be easy on us. Notice when the red players mantle up, they lose so much time. That mantle animation takes just enough time to where you're going to win a lot of extra gunfights if players are hanging out there too much. Secure the double kill. We only need 2 more. As long as we don't throw away too many silly deaths, we're going to just wrap this game up pretty nicely. Push in here with the teammates. Once again, that active camo spawn is really easy to predict. And that'll be the game right there. So in the beginning, I didn't play super well. I made some bad decisions engaging against railgun players when I probably didn't need to. Also, I did not prioritize the sword as much as I could have. I did get one nice railgun spawn. The other mistakes that were made were just stupid things that you forget when you realize people are calling out. Once I did pick up the sword after that red player died with it, I just hung in the same spot. They're going to call that out. They're going to watch you on their death screen. Should have taken that sword to the top center where it really shines best. So if you're struggling on Overgrowth, really, really, really prioritize those power weapons. The railgun's pretty much good almost anywhere on the map. The sword is really good in the top middle, and active camo in this game is just beastly. Thanks you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. Sorry if my voice was a little weird. I unfortunately got sick again. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk with you next time.